Hello class, I'm going to give you a short presentation of my Trifold Brochure. It's right here behind me. So we'll start up at the top here. We've got our original assignment. The subject I chose was mathematics for the grade level, first grade. So it's simple subtraction within mathematics. So the first thing we have here is the original assignment, which our objective is to practice single-digit subtraction by writing number sentences to solve the word problems. So as you'll see in the original assignment, we've got 6 different word problems, and students are expected to read those and then write out number sentences or the numeric equation in order to solve. So that's the original assessment. And then we'll go into my adaptations for the different learning disabilities. So the first learning disability I chose was a specific learning disability of dyslexia. Dyslexia is a common condition that makes it hard for students to read. Symptoms can include trouble with reading fluency, trouble decoding words while reading, and also having difficulty with other skills, including mathematics. So since we're dealing with mathematics, I came up with an adaptation that actually, we found a little worksheet and some tangible dominoes that would be helpful for students with this disability. So the adaptation for dyslexia is using this dominoes worksheet along with these tangible dominoes that there's a full set you can hand out to the student. Have the student practice single-digit subtraction and complete the worksheet by replicating the equations on the worksheet with the tangible dominoes to solve these math problems. The reason I chose this adaptation is it integrates multiple learning styles for students that are not only visual learners, especially having a disorder like dyslexic. Visual, especially words, can be tricky, and they may be slower to process. So you can also adapt this activity to be done with partners. You could have students in pairs use the dominoes to quiz classmates by creating different subtraction equations with the dominoes. You can also use this to help students that are having trouble with equation signs like equal signs, plus, minus. And then down here, I've got my rationale for the adaptation for using dominoes with dyslexic learners. And so the rationale is using dominoes instead of having the kids read a word problem. It will help the students with dyslexia practice their math skills by actually eliminating the reading portion of the math problem. Also, using the tangible items and objects like these dominoes offers differential learning style for students with disabilities. They can experiment and practice with them and make mistakes before writing their final answer on the worksheet that they'll turn in. If the activity is decidedly worked in pairs, the opportunity also to practice social skills and teamwork is integrated and helpful for students with many disabilities along with dyslexia. Okay, so my second disability that I chose was autism, and it's known as the autism spectrum disorder. And, sorry, one second. Okay, so the autism spectrum disorder is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects how kids or children process certain types of information. Symptoms of autism spectrum disorder can vary widely, but they include trouble with social skills, a need for routine and consistency, and a heightened sensitivity to light or other senses. So the adapted activity that I would use for simple subtraction with first grader students with autism is actually a bingo game. So this is a laminated bingo card. As you can see, I've written different subtraction problems, single digit subtraction problems, but this is actually kind of laminated, so you can use a dry erase marker to change the equations and make bingo cards different depending on the skill level where they are. So the adaptation for this original assignment for autism is to have the student complete each problem that you've made and written on their bingo card in order to make a full blackout. So to actually cover every single dot. And then it also comes with the little pieces that you can put on your bingo card. So like I mentioned, you can use dry erase markers to change the equations. And as their skill level increases to be more challenging, you can make the equations harder or vice versa. Once a card is completed and turned in corrected or with the correct answers, this student would earn the choice of a prize. So the rationale for my autism bingo adaptation is autistic students benefit by getting a shorter, condensed version of the original assignment provided in a high engagement strategy to keep them interested throughout the lesson, which can often be difficult for autistic students. Using games with autistic students can also produce higher or more classroom participation. These students sometimes have somewhat obsessive interests in certain areas. So as a teacher, picking prizes that may have to do with their area of interest will also increase their motivation to complete the assignment. Allowing the student to circle or write a single number digit as a response helps them use nonverbal skills, and matching colors also helps to integrate sensory work, which are all great focuses for different levels of autism. The other one thing I wanted to mention, and I found this in a lot of our adaptation books, is that bingo is a great tool or game to use with autistic students in all sorts of subjects. You can, like I said, with dry erase marker, erase this, change it to writing, letters, phonics, all sorts of different things. So again, by laminating the cards and using dry erase markers, the bingo cards can be manipulated and adjusted for use with almost all or any academic disciplines. Okay, and then the last one we've got over here, I chose the emotional disturbance disability, specifically obsessive compulsive disorder, or often known as OCD. So obsessive compulsive disorder is a brain and behavior disorder that involves both obsessions and compulsions. Some of the symptoms can include having a need for symmetry, order, and precision, possibly a fear of dirt or germs or spreading of germs, and then often they have checking rituals, like repeatedly even checking their homework or checking the light switch or checking lots of different things. So the adaptation for autistic student, or not autistic, OCD students here is this worksheet where you actually count the dots with each equation and then cross them out to do the subtraction problems. So a student that has OCD would be given this worksheet, and where the instructions, like I said, are to cross out the dots to subtract and solve the equation. And then they will write the numeric answer within the colored box below. The reason, or my rationale for this adaptation for OCD students, is the repeated pattern for each problem with crossing out the dots really would be helpful for students who need to keep things neat or orderly for their disability. They can focus learning the simple subtraction math skill using this simple repeated pattern for practice. And also, unlike the other two adaptations, the dominoes and the bingo, this one does not include any items that a student would have to share with anyone. So it would eliminate their worry regarding transferring or sharing germs. And that actually is extremely important even today with COVID. So I'm just going to do kind of a quick scan of the whole brochure. And I want to thank you so much for watching and checking out my Trifold brochure. Thank you.